On October 31st, children in many countries traditionally dress up in spooky costumes and go from house to house. Vampires, werewolves, and aliens try to collect candies and chocolates. The youngest ones look cute in the process, but the older ones can evoke a bit of fear. Similarly, this applies to the entire Halloween. This beloved tradition has its roots in the past, but sometimes it can truly evoke terror and horror. It's as if there is a dark atmosphere hovering over the streets filled with cheerful people in frightening costumes at times. Something inherently sinister that can evoke our darkest thoughts, because Halloween is about enjoying a bloody spectacle. We start with brutal and shocking murders that actually happened on Halloween night. One such horrifying event occurred in 2014 on Long Island, where Derek Ward created a nightmarish scene. With a kitchen knife, he killed his own mother and then grotesquely mutilated her by decapitating her. He carried the headless body outside onto the street, holding her severed head in his other hand. He left both of them lying on the lawn and then jumped under a passing train. Many pedestrians passed by this horror, convinced it was just a Halloween prank. Unfortunately, it was just one of many real-life horrors that occurred. Murderous rampages on Halloween often resemble a parade of the darkest psychopaths. There are sudden, entirely unprovoked, and deadly attacks. An example could be an incident from 2011 when a 55-year-old man from Chicago couldn't find the bag of candies he had collected. In his mind, he became convinced that his neighbor had stolen them. Without apparent reason, he set out and brutally murdered her with multiple knife stabs. Another tragic situation involves a 21-year-old Carl Jackson, who came to pick up his girlfriend's young son from a party with friends. He got into an argument with a group of teenagers who were throwing eggs at his car, which was one of the relatively harmless Halloween traditions. However, when he tried to continue driving, one of the adolescents in a costume approached him and shot him without warning. Unfortunately, Halloween brought a tragic fate for Japanese student Yoshihiro Hattori in 1992. He got lost in his costume and accidentally ended up at the wrong house, where the owner ruthlessly shot him, claiming to have feared for his life. On the other hand, fortunately, there are stories with a positive outcome as well. One of them is the case of a 9-year-old girl who returned home in black and white attire with a black hat featuring a furry tassel during Halloween. Her relative mistakenly thought she was a skunk and fired a shot at her. Luckily, the girl survived. What exactly causes such confusion and errors in judgment during Halloween? One of the factors could be disguises and striking costumes, which can hinder recognition and lead to tragic misunderstandings in situations where people are nervous or under the influence of emotions. Murderers sometimes dress up in costumes of horror movie characters from series like A Nightmare on Elm Street or Scream. In other cases, they themselves could serve as antagonists from these movies. An example of this can be the case of 26-year-old David Andrews, who became the perpetrator of a horrifying event on October 31st, 1984. Andrews stabbed his partner, as well as her 2 daughters aged 10 and 11, and then abducted her 8-year-old son. He evaded the police with the boy for 2 days before attempting an unsuccessful suicide. This case serves as a reminder of how reality can sometimes be more terrifying than fiction. Mysterious disappearances during Halloween are known from history, and most of these cases come from a time before the widespread use of modern technology. However, it is chilling that such cases still occur in the present day. Let's take a look at the case of Cindy Song, which occurred in 2001. On that night, 20-year-old Korean student Cindy Song, dressed in a costume with plush rabbit ears and a pink outfit, was ready for a Halloween party with her classmates at Pennsylvania State University. Around 4 a.m., she arranged for a ride back home, but no one from her friends or family ever saw her again. It is certain that she made it home safely because her personal belongings, parts of her costume, and her mobile phone were found. Only her wallet was missing, but her credit cards have not been used since, indicating that no one abducted Song or used her identity. Her apartment showed no signs of forced entry or a struggle. Cindy Song simply vanished out of the blue. There is no record of her having any psychological issues, and no credible witnesses have come forward to help with the investigation into her disappearance. This case remains on the list of unsolved and perplexing cases. Where could she have gone on that Halloween night, and what happened to her remains a mystery. A fateful mistake on the spookiest day of the year? You don't have to be an active participant in Halloween festivities. Sometimes it's enough just to be in the world to be touched by something sinister. In 1955, American Marilyn Damon went to the bakery on October 31st just to buy some groceries. It was a different time, so she left her 2 young children waiting outside without any worries. 2-year-old Steve was responsible for his 7-month-old sister, Pamela, who was peacefully lying in her stroller. When Marilyn emerged from the store 10 minutes later, she was shocked. Both children had disappeared. After a brief moment of panic, she noticed the stroller standing nearby. She rushed to it and, with relief, found that little Pamela was fine. But Steve was gone, and no one ever saw him again. Con artists emerged, demanding ransom for Steve, and there were speculations that he might be the same as the boy in the box, an unidentified boy found 2 years later in Philadelphia. Although the age would match, other physical characteristics didn't align. Little Steve never witnessed his mother's return and became another chilling Halloween tale that truly happened. October 31st is a day when, under unusual circumstances, several famous personalities also pass away, including the legendary escape artist Harry Houdini. This Hungarian-born illusionist and escapologist was a revered celebrity of his time. Houdini's interest in the supernatural was kindled when his mother passed away when he was 20 years old. He and his wife, Bess, agreed upon a secret signal to communicate with each other about the existence of an afterlife in case one of them were to die. Houdini got this opportunity sooner than he expected. He passed away at the age of 52 on October 31st, 1926, likely as a result of several blows to his abdomen that he suffered during one of his performances. Bess shared a strong bond with her husband and attempted to make contact with him for several years after his death. However, all her efforts were in vain. And so, we move on to another Halloween day. It's October 31st, 1936, exactly 10 years after Houdini's death. After numerous unsuccessful attempts, Bess officially announced that she was ending her efforts to communicate with Harry after his death. As she left the place where the seance took place, a tremendous storm suddenly erupted. Thunder roared, lightning bolts flew, and everyone present got completely drenched. What's interesting is that this storm didn't appear anywhere else. Could it be the sign that Bess had longingly awaited? On October 31st, 1993, one of the most promising actors of his generation, American River Phoenix, passed away. On this fateful evening, he arrived at the Viper Room, a Los Angeles club that belonged to his friend and colleague Johnny Depp at the time. They played a concert together there. But Phoenix wasn't feeling well. It was known that he had serious drug problems, but the situation didn't seem as dire at the time. Phoenix decided to step outside for some fresh air to take a break, but he suddenly collapsed. He was later rushed to the hospital where he passed away. On October 31st, 1984, the Indian politician Indira Gandhi was assassinated by her own security personnel. In 1999, she was voted as the Woman of the Millennium by BBC, and remains the only woman to have ever served as India's Prime Minister. The day before her assassination, she uttered words that now seem eerily prophetic. "I am alive today, but I don't have to be here tomorrow. I will serve my country till my last breath, and when I die, every drop of my blood will make India stronger." It's as if she foresaw her own death. After 3 gunshots, she fell to the ground in the gardens of her residence, and there was a significant amount of blood visible. It is remarkable that this event occurred on October 31st, during Halloween. Why this day attracts so many eerie events with mysterious circumstances remains a mystery. Perhaps it is connected to the atmosphere and superstitions associated with this holiday, which bring forth an aura of mystery and mystique. That's all from us for today. If you're interested in videos filled with mysterious mysteries, dark stories, legends, or monsters, and you crave more, subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any new videos.